Okay.
And
Hello.
we're live. Hi.
So we're
Dude, this is
not
crazy.
live at all. This is all pre-recorded.
We're live in person talking to each other
Well,
in this
yeah,
moment.
that's true. You and I are
Um,
live.
my entire day has been go, go, go from start to finish. Like I'm telling you, I got home 2 minutes ago, shoved 3 Cheez-Its in my mouth, ran outside, got my computer, caught up with Tanner while he was setting up, and now we're here.
Sister friend, I'm sweating because we were supposed to record at 5 p.m. So at promptly 4:58, I put a baked potato in the oven because it needs to cook for an hour. And I was like, oh, it'll be fine. We won't record longer than an hour. But then you had to push back the start times, and now my apartment is 400 degrees. My potato's going to be done when we're halfway through filming. The whole thing is just a mess. But
Are you going to eat a potato live on air
no,
in person in real time?
absolutely not.
Oh,
Hi, how are you? How's your day?
I'm I'm good. Should we start with the health update?
Oh my God, yeah. Housekeeping,
This
weekly
this
health
podcast is
update.
just a yeah. This podcast is just us talking about our ailments.
Um,
So
I
yeah.
am going to talk about myself. I've recovered from my pneumonia. I feel pretty much completely normal, except for I did a spin class on Monday and literally almost died. Like, I definitely still have pneumonia lungs because I could not breathe. The whole class, I was mouth open, like deep inhale, exhale. Everyone must have thought I was like an insane person. But it's okay. I signed up for another class on Saturday, so
Awesome. We love cycling our souls. I've only done it. Have I done it with you twice
yeah,
or just
I think we've
once?
done it a few times. I'm working on
Okay.
my
Yeah.
wedding bod. It starts now.
Oh, I did not get the memo that I needed to be also doing that. Can you hear Ethel rummaging around behind me or
I
no?
can, but it's just like little pitter patters. It's not bad. It's not
Okay. It's the
distracting.
pitter patters of her toenails that desperately I need to take her in, get a trim on them. I can do the back feet, but the front feet, oh,
And
there's no
that's the
doing
nice
it
thing about like
myself.
only having Martini, who's an 8-pound cat, where I can just like literally put her like a football in my arm, and then like she's not going anywhere.
Do you trim her nails?
Yeah.
Good for you. I used to trim Edison's, but now he's a wild child. But his like break off easily enough that like I don't know. This doesn't matter. Back to my health update. Um, so psoriasis is just popping off for some reason, but the reason being that I've been stressed. I have been eating like crap, and I have not been putting my lotion on. And in the winter, it needs to be a strongly regimented routine. Otherwise, the psoriasis just pops back. I'm really lucky that mine's like pretty manageable, and like if I do the right things, I don't need like any medication. But
I'm on
I have not been
psoriasis
taking care of
talk,
myself.
and there's people that like get it really bad on their scalp, and they're like combing it out. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm glad
I
it's not
that
you, but unfortunate for
last
them.
year. Oh no, it was last year when things were really out of control and it was all over my entire body and I needed to go through 2 rounds of steroids. It was behind my ears in chunks, but it was like I got this. It's like a dropper thing where you like drop the ointment onto you, and for some reason it just felt so good to do.
Oh, that's nice. Like a little
Putting
massage.
Yeah, give myself a little treatment behind the ear. But yeah, I'm very lucky that it's like pretty manageable. But anyway, other thing is that there's no denying I have an ear infection.
Oh, dang.
It's so since December I've had like a little bit of a cold, like just
Okay.
feeling and like just feeling things in my sinuses. And like 2 nights ago, I like woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, man, my ear hurts. And then this morning I woke up and it was like, there's no denying I need amoxicillin in my body
It's your
stat.
friend. I have leftover steroids. I should just send them to you.
Well, it's fine. I did a telehealth appointment. I was like in line at the place I haul corn to.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it took me more time to try to log in to my app than it took me to actually like get a hold of a doctor and get a prescription ordered, just because I can never remember that username and password, because it's one of those apps where it's like you need a capital, you need an uppercase.
Mm-hmm.
It can't have anything to do with anyone's names. It can't have real word. Like it was for some reason that app is like real hard to break into, and I never write down my information.
I stopped using telehealth because I've really pretty good insurance, but I have United Healthcare, which is like nationwide. Like a lot of people have that. And if I want to use a telehealth, it's $20. But if I just go to City MD, it's free. So I like have to go to the urgent care, but it's free, which is nice. But like
It is
having to
always
see
good
someone
having
is like
someone
awkward.
actually. Yeah, I definitely utilize it for things where like I know what's wrong. Like I always get poison ivy at some point,
Hmm.
and I know what that is. And then ear infections, I had them like all the time as a little kid. I had like the tubes in the ear situation. So like
Yeah.
I I was confident in what was wrong with me. The telehealth where I get like wary is if like I really didn't know what was wrong because how would they know?
Yeah. Well,
How would they
like, and
know?
I'm glad I went for my pneumonia because they had to do a chest x-ray to diagnose it.
You needed medical people looking at you
Yeah.
inside of you.
They needed to put a stethoscope to my chest to hear me wheeze.
Blech.
By the way, my hair looks insane. I need to take a shower.
That's okay. Is it so foggy and rainy and dreary there?
It's so foggy, rainy, and dreary here. Although I didn't leave my
Uh,
house at all today, so I actually don't know. But that's what it looks like
yeah.
from the window.
Okay. I've spent all day outside, just because I've been hauling, and I do honestly I would take this with it being 50 degrees over it being 5 degrees and sunny. So I'm not complaining.
It's let me tell you what it is right now. It's 51. Which 51's not bad. I'll take that. Light.
Yeah,
It's
you and
it's
your
a
potato
jacket.
potato are roasting over there.
I know. That's like they turned off the heater, and so it's just my apartment. My apartment is currently at a 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
And you have no control over that, right? It's just like whoever's in charge of your
Yeah.
apartments makes the calls.
Yeah. The the god in charge of the apartment, who's
Can
a
you
super.
can you slip that person a 20 and be like, "Hey, turn it down a notch," or is it
I think, well, it's
not up for
constantly being
discussion?
turned off and turned back on, so I just have to assume my neighbors are all slipping him a 20 because you just like, you really don't know what you're gonna get. I'm also so distracted that I have blue nails.
Ooh, those are fun.
And now I normally have like a light pink, of course, or a green, but I got blue and I'm like, keep distracting myself with them. Our second housekeeping note is the Instagram takedown of 2014. I mean, 2024. I don't know what year it is.
Who's here? Who is here? Who's trying to attack, take over, hijack
I
us?
know I had five beautifully curated Instagram posts on our sister friend Instagram, which you should be
Should you check
following
it out?
if you're listening to this. And they were all mysteriously taken down. And so I put them up, but I didn't put captions on them because I was simply too lazy. But yeah, I don't know what that was about.
The
I
audacity.
feel
Like
first I was like flattered. I was like, "Oh my gosh, are we getting sued?" And then
the
I was like,
haters.
"Oh no, Instagram's just banning us."
Oh my goodness. I just can't even. Yeah, that's so bizarre. That's so weird. Like we're just a little tiny quaint boutique podcast for our friends and our family.
No,
Why are they trying to take us
exactly.
down?
I'm like,
Is
we
it
have
an
50
inside job?
followers.
I know,
Leave
wait,
me
but
alone.
that means whoever's hacking us
The
is
other
someone we know.
sister friends that are like
It is.
trying to take us
It's the
down.
other now defunct Sister Friends podcast.
Also, Book Corner. The last time we filmed, I was behind. I am back on track. I'm about two-thirds of the way through my fourth book of the year, so we're back in business. I'm reading The Maiden. It's pretty good.
Good for you. I'm on the second book in a 4-part series. Couldn't tell you what the book's called. Couldn't tell you what the series is called, but it's about 4 friends who run like a bridal business thing, and like I think every book's gonna take us through like the love life of each character. So it's interesting because there's a new focus in the second book, but then there's like callbacks to the first book. It's
Oh, I like that.
it's a fun light read.
Must we not forget that the Finley Donovan
Yes,
book comes
Donovan.
out in March. So mark your calendars for the most mediocre
Yes.
book series that you will ever read. That only gets worse this time, but that I will pre-order.
The way in which I don't even know what the storyline is, I
I
won't
don't
refresh my
either.
memory
Well,
before reading
no,
it. I will just
exactly.
start reading.
I'm not going to reread the first three books, but I read them all a year apart from each other, and I read 50 books a year. You think I'm supposed to remember what the last book was about? I have like simply no idea, and I have to just like dive in blindly.
The thing I love about that book is so basically it's about like a writer who she's always having writer's block, and then she's always doing like a murder mystery type book, and it always she writes the story like literally about her life as she's committing these crimes in real
Yeah.
time. And the way in which it's always like plot, 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 and then it's like, oh, I have to get back to writing. I found a spark and I wrote six.
No,
It's like always such a subplot that like
I
she's writing
know.
this book.
It's like once she's committed like the second murder, you're like, girl, just do the murder
Quit your
for hire.
job.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
just
just
quit
so
your
much more
job.
lucrative to do the murder for hire job.
Yeah.
And also,
I
like,
think we're really selling this
you're
book.
not bad at it. Yeah, no, it's a really good
Yeah.
book. If any of the people want it, let me know. I'll send you my copies.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't send you my copies because I gave them to my friend Ellen. So that's
I
how I
heard
got
through mom
the
and
books.
dad that you and Ellen have this book exchange going, and I love that. That's so
Yeah, we do.
fun.
That's where I got my wedding books. Yeah. We love a
Amazing.
free book.
I know.
Just
That's
because I
what
love to read a
Eleanor and
book
I
in
have been
person.
doing. And then we're just constantly giving back the books to each other because we live in shoeboxes. Like, we don't have the space for books. My bookshelf is full. And so I give them
You're
back, and
maxed
she's
out.
always like, I don't want this. I gave this to you. Like, pass it on. And I'm like, I don't have any other friends that read.
Pass it
I
on.
have to pass
That's
it
so
back.
funny. No, take it. Take it. Well, so when I originally got the books from Ellen, she was having a garage sale and she had posted pictures of like the things at this garage sale on Facebook. And I was like, I'm going to skip right on over there because there was just so many books. And I go over there and I'm like perusing the books and her mom comes up and she's like, they're free. Take them all. I was like, oh, no, no, no. And they're like, take these books. I think I finally convinced like one of her nieces maybe to take one of my $5 bills, and that's all they would accept as payment was money to a different child who had nothing to do with these
That
books.
reminds me. So, it's January when we're filming this, and I'm gonna move in April. And so I'm like,
What?
I'm moving in April. Um,
I okay.
at least to a different apartment, if not a
Yeah,
different
no,
state.
I guess I knew this, like,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize the time had come.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it hasn't come. It's 3 months away. And if you've never tried to get an apartment in New York, I don't recommend. It's a terrible experience. Basically, you can't look too far in advance. Like everything I'll look at Street Easy, which is like an app. It's like Zillow, but for renting in New York. And if you look now, like all those places will be gone by next week. You really can only start looking 3 to 4 weeks before the date you're going to move in. And then those 3 to 4 weeks are like the worst weeks of your life because you're so stressed. You don't want to compromise, but you need to find a place. Like you don't want to be homeless, but like you want to find the
You can't
nicest.
afford two rents
No,
at the same
you want
time.
like the nicest, shoebox you can find. And so when you get in that stage of packing, which I'm not there yet, I'm like going through things and I'm decluttering. But the books remind me of like those weeks you're moving where just like everything becomes trash. You're like, these books I would have once sold for $15 each. I'm like, I will give them to the first person I see on the street. Take them and get out of my life. Like, I just need to throw things away. It's a really fun stage span. And
The fact that you moved to New York City originally with what, three
I think about
suitcases?
this all the time. I moved to New York City with 4 suitcases, a backpack, and a cat. And I have so many things. I have clothes coming out my ears. I have like furniture. I have too much furniture. Like I'm not gonna be able to fit all of this into a new apartment. Yeah, I don't know. Once again, I am a consumer and I consume and I have proof. But like,
Well, and to be fair, you like slowly took things from home too, like after those four suitcases. But
yeah.
like someone needs to come.
But like
I
not
need to fly
clothes.
out.
Like I
Okay.
literally came with 4 suitcases of clothes, which sounds like a lot of clothes, but really it's not that much. I came with 4 pairs of shoes. I have like 2.5 closets worth of shoes now. I don't know how it happened. I blinked. I mean, it has been almost 3 years, but I blinked and like I'm surrounded by things.
Oh,
But
my valuables.
I
At
know.
least you can take like trips back and forth and like it'll be fine.
Yeah. No,
You've done it before, you'll
moving
do
is
it
very
again.
exciting, but very stressful, and I hate
Well,
moving in New York.
it's just a whole other beast there because
I
like
know.
in Columbus when I was moving, it was like, okay, everything goes in my truck. And then also whenever moving week is, everyone I've ever met will be crawling out of the woodworks to be like, hey, you got a truck.
Oh, I know.
What
Well,
can you do for me?
that's the nice thing is like no one has a car. Like so it sucks that
Hmm.
I can't load up my car and drive to my new apartment, but it's not like I can be like, "Hey, Eleanor, let me use your truck." But what I did promise myself the last time I moved was that I would get movers for the next time I move. And so I'm going to do that, which is exciting and feels like very grown up to me.
Whoa.
But I simply am a former baby and I can't move myself. As a former child, I, first of all, would rather die than rent a U-Haul. Okay. And like, no matter, I live on a two-story walk up, no elevator. Like, you think I'm gonna carry my couch down the stairs? Like, first, no, like that's just simply not gonna happen. So I have to budget for some movers, um, which is exciting, but so scary.
That'll
Moving,
be
man.
interesting with that moving process, just seeing people touch your things,
Oh, I
move your
know. I
things.
think I'm gonna be an influencer and use like roadway or something.
Oh yeah. Make sure you use a code of some
No,
sort.
I know exactly. I know, and like they pack your things too. It's like I don't even know if I want that. Anyways, mom just texted me a picture.
What? She should be
I
at
know.
be going to a basketball game at this point, I think.
No, she. Why?
There's a junior high game.
Shouldn't you be at the game then? Oh no, you're a high school coach.
Yeah, I am a high school coach. No, they just wanted to catch the dude. It's crazy. I mean, I think I look at the high school basketball players and I'm like, children. I look at the junior high basketball players and I I can confidently say I'd be better at basketball than them, having never played ever. And they're actually pretty good. I'm better than the worst player on the other team. I can confidently say that. It's
Okay.
painful to watch.
Regardless, she was just sending me she was sending me tax paperwork.
Oh my gosh. I
So I
found out
have to
today.
file like a normal
I
person in March.
Yeah, I got a crazy little email sent to me from my accountant in Ohio specifically. This is just an Ohio thing. There's this thing called CAT tax. CAT stands for company pleasure. And it's the pleasure of doing business in Ohio. Basically, like, if you commercial you I don't know. It's it's the pleasure of doing business, having a business in Ohio, and basically you pay on your gross income, and it's quarterly. And Dad has always been like, "This is a dumb tax." Because like other states don't have it. It's just like a tax on top of other taxes. But luckily, because I unfortunately do not make $3 million gross a year, I no longer have to pay cat tax. But when
Amazing.
business starts really booming, I'll just be thrilled paying that cat tax
Guess
again.
what? I don't have to pay cat tax either.
Thank goodness you're not a commercial business in Ohio.
Sister friend, why did you add to our notes? How many times a week do you cry?
I've just been crying a lot
I
this
didn't know if
week.
mom and dad told
But
you about me crying, and that's why you added that.
no, our parents, the last thing they said to me about you was that you're really homesick.
So, 2 nights ago, I woke up at 3 in the morning, so
Wait,
homesick I cried.
2 nights ago, what night would have that been?
Tuesday night?
Oh, a Monday
Or
night,
maybe
I woke
Monday
up at
night.
2
It
8.
was either Monday night or
Okay,
Tuesday night.
Monday night, I woke up in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. Not get my heart rate settled. I was just like full panic attack mode. And I came and I just walked around the house for a little bit because I was like, I have to get out of this bed and I have to just like move around because I was just like a little
Okay, but that's not what happened to me.
Uh,
Um, so I actually don't cry that much. I have been on antidepressants for a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years, and I physically like can't really cry. I used to cry all the time. Like I used to cry every single day. It's also because I was depressed, but I could just cry easily. But now
mhm.
I really don't cry that often, which is why when I cried the other night because I was so homesick, it like was a big deal to me.
It was like, wow, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I remember like as a little kid up until like college, like I was never a crier, like in anything. Like if anything, like I'd get mad and I'd get like angry, but like crying was just not like a part of the emotion. And I've never been a happy crier. I don't think I'll ever be one. But just in the last couple of weeks, it's like, oh my goodness, like I'm just so frustrated with different things. And then it's like, I think I cried like 3 times this week. And now I'm in a fantastic mood. I'm like, what was wrong with me?
Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely like notable times I cried. Not my current boss. I love my current boss, but my boss before her made me cry a lot. I never cried at work, but I would cry on the subway home from work. Um, but no, also, yeah, I just really haven't been crying that much, but I have been like so homesick. The time before, 2 nights ago, the last time I cried was the last night I was in Ohio, and I didn't want to leave, and I cried.
That's so interesting because I would love to leave here.
It's not
Yeah.
Ohio. Like I don't miss Ohio.
Yeah.
It's just our parents, you and
Hmm.
Kimber. Like
Yeah.
it's just like the four most important people to me in my life live in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. But
It's,
sucks.
it does.
But we have
I
FaceTime,
know. You sound like
I
mom.
guess.
Every time she just like tries to
Oh, sorry.
immediately be like,
Am I
everything
am I you're
here
trying to like
sucks. And I'm like, yeah,
everything's fine.
I
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
understand. I understand that like I know if I lived in Ohio, I would not be as happy as I am now. But also
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm just like sucks.
But you're coming home soon
I
in
did.
March.
I
You have
booked my plane
tickets.
tickets to come home in March. It was the day before. It was the night because I cried and then I woke up the next morning and then like at 8 a.m. I bought flights home.
Booked a flight.
But that's exciting because we're coming up for your bachelorette and your bridal shower, which would it be crazy if I vlogged your bachelorette for the sister friends?
Oh, that'd be so fun. No. We could do a podcast here too while you're home
Yeah, we can
in
podcast
person.
together.
An IPP in person podcast.
Or,
Let's not call it that.
yeah, I'm not gonna repeat that, but how fun would a little vloggy vlog of your batch be? And then we can look back and be like, oh, when we were young and happy.
Yes, that'll be fun.
I'm very excited for your bachelorette. I have mini Pinterest boards ready
Cool.
to
Yeah,
go.
my only concern at this moment is like it's gonna be cold here still, so I'm like, oh, what's cold bridal shower outfit look like? I'm thinking it's like a sweater and a skirt.
Yeah, so I actually did a whole shopping spree this last week in preparation. I bought,
Perfect.
which is a great lead-in to another thing I put on the notes, which
The
is how many
docket.
events I have this spring. I'm
Mhm.
not kidding. I took, let me just show you how I have so many lists. Okay. This is all of my events for
Mhm.
between now and June. I have
Mhm.
seven. Uh, five are cocktail, two are formal. Like, why do I have
Ooh,
to have two prom dresses between?
that's so exciting.
Like, I
Is
know
it
how
law
this
school
happened
prom?
because, like, I scheduled it and, like, I am an events planner and, like, I plan social events, but also, like, how is this my life? But yeah, so one is law school prom, and then the
Mhm.
other is an event at work, and it's black tie. So I have to have
Mhm.
two formal gowns and then these cocktail dresses. So then I was shopping and trying to find, like, we have a spring garden party, and I wanted to
Mhm.
find a dress I could wear to that and also wear to your bridal shower. So yes, I do. I think it's like midi dresses that like come to your like, calf, and then like with a sweater or a jean jacket, sweater jacket situation.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like it. That's yeah. So are you like where does one where does one shop for a formal gown these days? Or
Um,
are you borrowing? Are you getting a new? Are you reusing?
I should be reusing. I'm not. I do a lot of my shopping at, I was about to say Anthropology, which is like not true. I've literally never shopped at Anthropology.
Mhm.
Abercrombie actually has some really good dresses. I got my bridal shower dress at Show Me Your Moo, so they have good formal dresses. I've gotten a couple from Lulu's because they're like cheaper and I feel less bad about buying them. Um, where else do I shop? That's about it. I'm trying to think. But it's just so wild that like I have
So
I have
many
so many
events.
events,
Yeah.
and like because they're for work and it's a lot of the same clients and constituents at these parties, I don't want to wear the same dress to everything. Like you have to switch it up. It's just crazy
But
that
that's so
like I'm a
exciting. Like
person that has 7 cocktail/formal events in the next 5 months.
I mean, that's like so cool though, because like I'm forever like, oh, what's an event I can dress up for? Like when we did New Year's, I wore a dress, but it was like a very casual dress. And there were people that went like all out, and I was like, oh, this is the time I could have gone like more all out.
Yeah.
But you never know.
I'm having dinner at a place in DC called Pineapples and Pearl, and the dress code is like dress to impress, wear your best, pretend it's New Year's Eve, which is like the funniest
Ooh,
like dress code. I've never like heard of someone being like dress like it's New Year's Eve. But that leads
yeah.
into another question I put on the notes. Um, how often do you like do your hair and makeup?
Oh, yeah.
Like how often a week do
Like
you use a flat iron or a curling iron?
I probably do my hair once a week, but doing my hair just means blow drying it. And then it's like there's always like two pieces in front that need like a little help out with a flat iron for like literally 30 seconds. Um, but if I'm going somewhere, like if I'm going to Columbus or I'm going to go see friends, like I will do my hair and my makeup. Not like an all out makeup situation, but yeah, I don't know. Is that like every 2 weeks maybe I do a hair and a makeup? At the beginning of the basketball season when I was coaching, I would do like my hair and my makeup just because it's like I don't know, there's people there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna look nice, and I've completely stopped that.
That's interesting. Yeah, so I do when I work from home, like I did today, I don't do anything. I'm in my
Yeah.
pajamas from last night. But every time I go into work, I do my hair and makeup. So I'm
Hmm.
doing it at least 3 days a week. And then it's like simple makeup. Like I'm not doing anything crazy. It's like
Yeah.
concealer, foundation, blush, mascara. That's it. And then like on the weekends, if I have plans, which I usually do, I'll do like more of a heavier beat. But so I'm
Hmm.
doing my makeup and hair like 5 days a week. And you only do it like once every two. Like that's so crazy to me. Do you like never go through your makeup products? Or do you just like have makeup
No, like
forever?
no, the last time, like a couple weeks, I did this thing where I got free money. And by getting free money, I mean I took my credit card points and I got myself an Ulta gift card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I shopped on Black Friday. Like how I said a couple of weeks ago, it was Black Friday. It was last year.
It was
So
three months ago.
I got deals and I was using a gift card, so it felt literally like they were giving it away. But I got a whole bunch of new products. But I get sample sizes, and then like they're literally like because everything else I had I just threw away because it was also expired, and like I'm talking like my foundation was like separated into two pieces.
Yeah, that's not good. That cannot be
So
good for the skin.
But yeah, I got the Lumi Glotion. I've been doing that. So I do have, if I'm like need to feel myself for some reason, I'll do the Glotion and I'll mix it with my SPF. That's a like mineral base, so it gives me a white cast. But if I mix
Hmm.
the two things together, it evens itself out a little bit.
Oh, nice.
So every once in a while I'll do that with a mascara if I'm like feeling in a really dark place where I need to like look a little nicer.
Well, so I will get in a dark place if I don't get ready. So that's
Hmm.
back in the middle of the pandemic when like different variants got bad. We got sent home and we'd work from home fully. And that was like just being in my pajamas and not doing my hair puts me in a bad place. Like, I don't want to do it every day. Like, I'm lazy, come on. But I need to like see myself in makeup and have my hair brushed because otherwise I get so sad.
Oh no, it's like every time I wash my hair, I have to like talk myself into it because like it's just like a whole process. And then once it's done, and it's like if I blow dried it, I'm like I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like what is up? And I do need to like probably do that more often.
Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking about this because I went to Sephora this last weekend when I went to Cane's in Times Square, which Cane's in Times Square has a DJ and like a legit DJ
Insane.
and a DJ booth, and it's like a party, and we were there at 4 in the afternoon. It was really kind of crazy, and I sat on a bench that was in the shape of a Texas toast. Like, it looked like a giant Texas toast. It was wild. Anyways, I love Cane's. Um, I love Canes because I didn't go to Columbus. I didn't go to school in Columbus, and so I never had it like always at my fingertips, and that's why I'm still the biggest Canes fan when none of my friends from home are like Canes fans at all. Um,
Oh, I still
anyways,
am because I just I haven't had it in forever.
I went to Sephora, bought two things, spent $100, and I was like, this sucks. I literally bought my moisturizer and my foundation, and like,
Yeah,
there's nothing like
makeup
dropping a
is so
hundred
expensive.
dollars and walking out with a bag this big.
I know. Yeah. I did that one time when I sold my old truck. The guy insisted in paying me in cash. And so then I was like, I have this cash. I put most of it into the bank, but I kept like a couple. I think maybe $200. And I was like, I'm gonna go on a shopping spree. And so like around me, I have an Ulta that's like closer than driving all the way to Columbus for a Sephora. And so I just went to Ulta and I spent almost like $200. And when I tell you it was one tiny baggie,
It's like so
it
upsetting.
insanity.
I
Like I
know.
thought these $200 were gonna change my whole life
No,
at
I
Ulta,
know.
and no, I just
Also,
got a
just
few
like
new products.
the harsh reality of growing up and like what used to feel like 20s used to feel like a lot of money when you're like a kid. And now it's like I'm using 20s like $1 bills. It's like just so crazy how
No,
expensive everything is, but also just
I think it's mostly inflation.
yeah.
I think it's mostly inflation, not just like our context with money. I mean, obviously our context with money a little bit, but like what used to be $20 in my head is now $100. Like
Yeah. No,
yeah,
exactly. How much is a box of cereal right now in Ohio? Do you know? Do you buy cereal?
I would not know. I know a tub of yogurt is $6 and something
Okay,
cents,
I don't know what type of
but
yogurt is,
I
but
don't know cereal, but
I just bought Lucky Charms and they were $6.
okay, well someone had stopped me in Kroger a while ago. It was like an older guy and I didn't know him and he was like, "Can you believe this box of cereal is like $5?" And I think it was like a maybe it had been a family size. I don't know. He couldn't believe the prices and he had to tell someone, to which I was like, "Yeah, that's insane, ma'am."
See, that would never
But
happen in
yeah,
my grocery
it's
store here. If someone spoke to me, I'd first of all take my AirPod out and be like, "What did you just say to me? Are we about to throw hands?" Like,
oh no, like I
we don't have that Midwestern
regularly
hospitality here.
well, I don't know, a few grocery trips ago, some lady was like, "Can you read these ingredients to me?" Because she just couldn't because she couldn't see it, and I was like, "Yeah, here you go."
Oh,
But I appreciate when people ask for help, you know?
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, following up, fridge cleanouts. How often do you do this?
Okay, so Tanner is a person that, like, he runs this house like a really tight ship. Like, everything has a place, everything, like, there's order, there's law, there's rules. For some reason, that does not apply to the fridge. Like
Interesting.
I have to be the person that's like, hey, yesterday, like he bought this whole tub of pre-peeled garlic, and I watched it rot away for weeks. And he said something about like, oh, I have garlic, and I was like, that's rotten, and he had to like look at it and be shocked and awed. But like I'm typically the person that does the fridge clean out around here. But like
Want
I
to
feel
come clean
like
out my
maybe
fridge because mine's horrible.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say realistically, I probably like throw out a few things like every 2 weeks if there's like a moldy vegetable or something. I probably do like a deep fridge clean out like quarterly maybe.
Sorry, I'm
So
distracted by martini.
I'm assuming you've never touched your fridge since you moved in.
No, 2 years ago. And I'm sure there's stuff
Yeah.
in the back just like
Is
doing
it a
science.
full-sized refrigerator?
No, it's not. It's probably like half the size of yours.
How do you even have room for your things?
We just like stack and shove and stack and shove. I'm really good about throwing out like leftovers and like vegetables that get gross. Like that's easy, but like I'm sure we just have like jars in the back of like
Yeah, for me,
who
it's always
knows how
condiments
old.
don't get used up before the expiration date. But then I'm like, on some of those things, I'm like, is it real?
Well, see,
Is
I think if the expiration date is something that's in your fridge, it is real. I think if it's something outside of your fridge, it's a
like a
suggestion.
can?
Well, I
Yeah,
don't know. Canned food kind of freaks me out. But I was
yeah.
thinking like spices.
Oh,
Like I don't
spices?
feel like
No,
my
you
parsley
cannot.
can like really
No,
go bad. You know what I mean?
no,
The thing
you
about
in no
canned
way can
food,
convince me.
which don't get me wrong, like I'm a poor gal living in New York. I have canned soup all day, every day. But I am eating it and I'm thinking about how long the potato or the noodle has marinated in that liquid.
Yeah,
And that like really kind of
yeah.
freaks me out. So now I've been really on to like my tomato soup kick because like that doesn't freak me out.
No, I 100% agree with you. Like I'll be sitting someplace and be like, in a can inside of my pantry, there's something floating around,
No,
and
exactly. There's
yeah.
a potato that was cooked however many months, years, decades, millenniums ago. And now it's just like still there. And like I can
Yeah.
still eat it in a year from now. That was my potato timer.
That's your potato. Do you need to get it? I can
Yeah.
entertain the
Entertain the
folks.
people while I just put it out of the oven and onto a plate.
Okay, as Kenzie gets her potato, I'm going to tell you guys. I want to tell you guys what I did today. So, today I was hauling grain and so we had long lines. And this year so far, there's only been a few days where I have to sit in a long line. And these were ranging, they were about an hour total. So on the first trip, I took a full business call. Had a great discussion with the person, a fantastic use of my time. And then on the second trip, I only made 3 trips today because there was not enough time to get it all done. And each trip took forever. So I was hauling for probably 6.5 hours. Second trip, I listened to podcast. I made 3 TikToks. I made my videos for the day and I sent a few emails. And then in my third trip, that's when I ate my lunch. I did my telehealth and I literally got my prescription sent to my CVS. I logged into my CVS app. I did a rush order. That's an option that you can do. And then I unloaded. So literally talk about mobile office. Sometimes when I am hauling, it's oh, I listened to 6 podcasts today. I felt like I could get nothing done. No, today we made use of our time. And Kenzie has returned. I'm not sure if she's plugged in yet or not.
I am, and I could hear you that whole time
Oh, wild.
because you were in my ears. At one point, Kristen tried to ask me a question. I was like, I don't know what you're saying to me. I can't hear you. He's always in my ears.
So he's in my ears. You know what? I had an odd thought the other day. You sent me a picture that you have of me that you use as a bookmark. And I just thought how weird it is that you have thoughts about me. Because I think about you all the time, but it's weird to think that you're thinking about me.
I think
Is that
about
insane?
how I'm like the main character in my story and you're like a side character. And to you, I'm only a side character.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And then sometimes I think about oh, all these people I
How
know,
often do you have
all their
thoughts about
lives are
me?
carry. I think about you probably every day.
Well, I think about you every day. I didn't know if you were thinking about me like multiple times a day.
I don't know. It depends on the day and what I'm thinking about. But it's just so crazy. There's so many people in this world, and everyone's the main character of their story, and there's so many plots happening at the same time, and sometimes it just makes me overwhelmed. But also the people that believe that life is a simulation, I'm oh, so that you could just not be real.
Um,
You know,
yeah.
is that too much? Is that too much of a pivot from talking about cleaning out refrigerators?
I mean, it was a pivot. I do think, I don't know if I think life is a simulation or not. I'm not ready to like make a stance on that. I'm not ready to put my opinion on that on YouTube. Um, but I do think it's interesting that to I'm only a side character in your story. Um, okay.
But you're a side character that takes up a lot of the plot.
How often, sister friend, do you get yourself a little treat? What is it and how much is it? And the reason I ask this question is I have only bought coffee outside my home one time this year so far.
Oh, good for you.
And that's like, I
So
used to buy it like 3 to 4 times a week. So that's like a
yeah.
major improvement in my life.
So my little treat used to be a kombucha, and then it got over $3, and I was like, this is a little extreme for a little drinkity drink. But like every day, I'm giving myself a little treat of like a hot chocolate. Or today, I had a little bit of time and I ran. I got myself one supreme taco from Taco Bell as a little snickety snack.
Oh my God, that's
So I am
so fun.
So like I think I do factor in like a little treat, but like usually it's like food related. Um or like if I'm having like a really bad day, I'll be like, "Oh, today I will watch the toast on YouTube rather than like just listening to it because then I don't know. It's like I get to sit on my couch and like
That's
then also scroll on my phone and
That's
I
so
consider that a
interesting.
treat. Is that a
I
treat?
No, I watch the toast every day because that's just like that's a part of my life. I
Mm,
never listen to it. I usually save it and I come home and I make dinner and then I watch it when I'm eating dinner. Um,
okay.
I've been getting a little chocolate milk every day I've been going into the
Ooh.
office and it's over $3. Okay, so inflation, everybody. Um, but that's been my little treat recently. So I haven't been
I do
buying
love a
coffee
chocolate
out.
milk.
I have 2 shots of espresso every morning in my room, and then I leave and I go to work, and then when I get to work, I buy the little chocolate milk. That's been my little treat.
Oh, that's fun. That's like also like a treat. Like whenever I get my nails done, I'm like, oh, I have to do this more often because I forget how much better it makes me feel, and then I'll forget about it for 6 months.
So I justify getting my nails done not as a little treat, but because I'm a really, really bad skin picker, and I actually find that having acrylics, they're not sharp enough to actually pick. If there's a scab, they're sharp enough to pick off a scab, but they can't just make my regular skin bleed. And so my like legs actually look like 10 times better when I have nails on.
Yeah. So for that, it's more like just like a regular self care situation
Yeah,
than a
exactly. Then
little
less than
treat.
a little
Yeah.
treat, which is why I have to justify getting my nails done every 4 to 6 weeks. Sister
Yeah.
friend, time has just
Yes.
flown.
Flying
We're
by.
at 43 minutes.
Whoa. Is there any? What's in your docket for this weekend? Do you have anything going on before we wrap up?
Yeah, I do actually. So tomorrow's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I'm going into the office because we have a little mixer at work, which is so cringe. But it's one of
Ooh.
my colleagues' last day, which is really sad. So we're all doing drinks and stuff after work tomorrow. So drinks after work, and then Saturday I have an 11 a.m. Zoom call with you and mom to talk about bridal shower stuff. Then I have a 1 p.m. Soul Cycle, and then I am getting dinner with my friend Gabby and Eleanor for Gabby's birthday. And then Sunday I'm going to bed raw all day.
Wow, you are booked and busy. That's like the perfect of like front loading the weekend with like things. And so then you're so tired on Sunday that like you don't feel guilty about relaxing.
Yeah, I'm going to just lay in my
Amazing.
bed and not do anything. What are you going to do this weekend, sister friend?
I can't really talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. I no,
Are you
I
going to
have a cheer practice.
Disneyland?
No, no, I'm not. I'm going to Cincinnati.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that is
Yeah,
so exciting.
yeah. So
This will
I can't
come,
wait. That'll have
this
to be a
podcast
whole.
though will be posted after next weekend though.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what if I jinxed it?
I
What if
mean, yeah,
something
no, we
bad
definitely shouldn't like
happened?
speak of it, but it's okay that you're
But
saying you're
yeah,
going to
but this will
Cincinnati
be,
for
yeah,
exciting things.
yeah. Which I have not spent like any time in Cincinnati
I've
besides that one
spent
time that we went to the fish place, the
what?
aquarium.
Oh,
We went to
I
the
wasn't
aquarium.
even going
That's
to
when I
talk about
learned that I
that.
couldn't see.
I spent one magical weekend in Cincinnati. It was during COVID, and I went to visit my friend Maddie, who lives in
Oh
Cincinnati,
yeah.
and we just hung out and ate food and drank for that weekend, and it was really fun. It wasn't quite as
Yeah.
magical as I was making it out to seem, but it was nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Well,
Nice.
sister friend.
Okay. It was great catching up with you, sister friend.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to you next. I would say talk to you next week, but I'm sure we'll chat
I'll
and
like probably text you in an hour.
on our yeah, at our Zoom call, our Zoom meeting. We have meetings now.
I know. Mom is so funny. She's like, I'm gonna put it on your calendar. I was like, okay, do it.
It's so fun. Makes it so official.
It's very official. Okay, well, it's been so real, sister friend. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye.